Emily and Lucas were inseparable. Friends since we were kids. Same street, same school, same everything. But 2025 changed it all. Lucas had just started a new job at a private security firm in Chicago. Pay was way too good for someone with his experience, and he'd joke about it, but I always felt like something was off. One freezing January night, he showed up at my door. He was pale, his eyes wide and hollow. "I think I'm being followed," he whispered, his voice trembling. I tried to get him to stay to explain, but he just shook his head and left, disappearing into the dark. 3 days later, at 11:47 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was a voice message from him. His final message. The words were rushed, frantic, but it was the last part that has haunted me ever since. A half-finished sentence. Don't trust anyone, especially the message cut off. Especially who? The next morning, the news reported a young man found dead near West Fulton Market. Police called it a robbery gone wrong. It was a lie. Clean, simple lie that made my chest feel like it was collapsing. My gut screamed that Lucas didn't die in some random street crime. This was something else. I had to know. I went to his apartment using the spare key he'd given me months ago for emergencies. The place was cold, silent. I searched everywhere, my hands shaking. Under his bed, I found a small, dusty red metal box. It was locked. With a hairpin and a racing heart, I managed to pry it open. Inside, there were 3 things. A single USB drive, a photograph of Lucas standing next to his boss, a man named Richard Hale, and a small folded note. It just said, "If I disappear, start here." My fingers fumbled as I plugged the USB into my laptop. A video file immediately opened and started playing. It was Lucas, sitting in his dimly lit room, breathing fast, his eyes darting around. Listen," he said, his voice strained. "My company. It's not a security firm. Richard is running illegal shipments through the city. Weapons, money. I don't even know what else. I accidentally recorded something I shouldn't have. He knows I have it. I'm leaving this video for you just in case." My eyes snapped back to the lens, wide with terror. If you're seeing this, it means I didn't make it. The video froze on his terrified face. My heart stopped. Felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. I downloaded everything from the drive, my mind racing. I grabbed my phone to dial 911, but before I could press call, I saw it. A black SUV pulling up across the street. It was the same one I'd seen near the crime scene on the news. A tall man in a black coat stepped out. It was him, the man from the photograph. Richard Hale, Lucas's boss. Looked up, his gaze locking directly onto my window as if he knew. As if he knew I had just uncovered the truth. My blood ran cold. I snatched the USB drive, shoved it deep into my jacket pocket, and backed away from the window, moving silently toward the rear of the apartment. I heard his heavy footsteps on the front steps. The doorknob began to turn. I held my breath, clutching the evidence that got Lucas killed. His last words from the video echoed in my head. "If you're seeing this, run." And that's exactly what I did. I slipped out the back door, into the biting Chicago wind, into the night. The truth was burning a hole in my pocket, and a killer was on my trail. My friend was murdered, and now I'm the only one who can prove it. But to do that, I have to survive.